dynamically. So void is not a keyword. Technically, void is not a keyword. Actually, void is an operator, and usually it evaluates an expression and returns undefined generally. Technically, it evaluates an expression and returns undefined. Undefined is a type. If undefined is a type, that means it is valid. It is valid. Only the point is that it is not returning anything. So later in functions, we will see in more different way how to deal with them, right? As of now, this is the basic point about void. Currently, we haven't discussed anything about functions and return types. When we learn about functions and return types, then we can clearly understand more about this void type, right? So this is also a special type of operator. Void is a special type of operator. So these are all important special type of operators technically. So later, actually these are all JavaScript only, right? And the same operators are used by TypeScript. If you have already idea of this in JavaScript, actually we don't need to spend so much time here to understanding that. But still, if anyone not aware of them, then they should know about them. That's the reason I given an overview of all these special operators. So we have arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, assignment operators, bitwise operators, and special operators. And these are all various special operators available in TypeScript. And we use them regularly as per the situation. How to deal with them, we will discuss about that. So technically, many people have a confusion. Sir, should we call void as a type, as void as an operator? Technically, void is an operator only. And actually, the void operator returns a type called undefined. But many times you will see many people writing as void type, because in their situation, they are using void as a type, saying that it is not returning anything. But actually, void returns an undefined type internally. That's the reason it is an operator only, not a type, right? So officially, it is an operator, and it is used to tell that the type is not known, return type is not known. That's the reason many times we generally call void as a type, but technically void is an operator. And how the operator implements the functionalities. So later you will see with functions also how to deal with them. These are all special operators, right? So now in TypeScript, we are clear about two important options. One is variables, another one data types, another one operators. What are variables, data types, and operators? One more important you should know about statements. Statements is not a new concept. Statements I am not explaining again, because these are all JavaScript basics only, right? So there is no change in the statements, so we don't need to discuss about them. So already I told you, right? So in JavaScript, whatever basics are there, if they are repeating, then we will not discuss them here. If they are anything new, then we will go into that and detailedly discuss about that. Statements are general. Actually, what is the purpose of statements and what are the statements? Statements, actually a statement is used, a statement in computer programming. Programming is used to control the execution flow. A statement in computer programming is used to control the execution flow. And important is the statements are classified into following types. And you know the types. We have statement type and description, keywords. So what are the keywords used for the type? So we have to understand that. So statement type, we have the general statement type we are having. One is selection statements. Selection statements keywords, you know the keywords. We have if, else, we have switch, and case and default. This all comes under selection statements. These are selection statement keywords. Similarly, we are having iteration statements. Iteration statements. So we have iteration and looping statements. Iteration and looping control statements. For that we have for, we have while, we have do while, right? So we can also use combination of for in operator and for off operator. That also I told you about how to deal with them, right? While working with arrays, we learned about that. That is iteration and looping. And we have jump statements. Jump statement keywords are, we have return, we have break, and we have continue. These are jump statement keywords: return, break, and continue. And of course, we are having exception handling statements. Exception handling statements. So like we have try, we have catch, we have throw, and we have finally. These are all exception handling statements. So I'm not going to explain any one of these, but exception handling later towards the end we will discuss how exception handling is done. But if else, switch, case, for, while, do while, these are general programming basics. And I'm not going to explain any of this just because these are same as our JavaScript statements. So we will continue with them. So we will define the same thing here, right? How to handle them. So that is all the various types of statements. And we will use all these statements regularly in everyday programming. We use these statements and we will work with these statements. And these are general JavaScript based statements. So if anyone is not even know these basics of programming, then it is difficult to handle. That's the reason once go through all your JavaScript basic statements. So you have clear idea on how to use if, else, switch, default, for, while, do while. Later, situation wise, when various examples we are using, we will use them. And at that time, any new things you need to know, we will discuss about them. But we are not going to detailedly discuss any statements again here to waste the time. So we will continue with this. We will ignore this, right? But we are going to use these all because as a learner of any language, you should know all these, right? So variables, data types, operators, and statements. These are all the various types of statements and keywords that are regularly used in our program. So up to these, actually, to everyone who knows JavaScript, this is the common things. So only few changes you have observed in TypeScript, others are similar. The next important is now we need to understand about object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming. programming in TypeScript. So how TypeScript